there. Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary. Today on One, evicted Swart boy suffers chest pains while out in the cold. Struggle kids become self-sufficient at Ndilimani farm. Karasburg residents plead for basic sanitation facilities. And MTC avails digital equipment towards EdTech Innovation Development Project.
Homelessness is taking a toll on the well-being of the Swart boy family, especially Mr. Swart boy, who suffered chest pains due to stress. Hendrik Swartboy says it happened just as he was about to rest his eyes after a long day of looking for countless solutions to the problems they are facing. According to Mr. Swartboy, an overwhelming pain began to spread all over his chest. Luckily, his wife was there to assist him.
So I cannot say it is a heart attack, but it was like cramps. I was really suffering to get up. I could not stand. So my wife sort of pushed me out of the bed, and I stand up, and when I stand up, I get dizzy. So I almost fainted there.
Mr. Swartboy says it's disheartening to see the men of the house go through this much trauma. What's even worse is that Mrs. Swartboy's sister, Lucia Lynx, and her daughter allegedly filed a noise complaint against the evictees.
They don't even greet us. Well, my little brother does, but my sister doesn't. I was out yesterday looking for temporary shelter, and as I was out there, I received a phone call from someone. They told me the police are looking for me and that I should relocate from here, as if there is a place I could go to.
After hearing about the news on Today on One, Zachary Toto, no to gender-based death and violence initiator, paid the Swart boys a visit to find out if there's a way he could be of assistance.
The first thing for me, which is a priority, is the safety of the children. And that is exactly what I've just done by contacting the necessary ministries, the line ministries involved in such cases. And we have handed the family and the children over to the officials who look further into it. As for humanity, I don't think it is proper for the sister to have done this at this time of the day. And I have made some inquiries, and this family, I think they will need a legal representative just to ascertain how genuine the transfer was done.
Itodo managed to hand the family's matter over to the Red Cross Society of Namibia, where they might find a temporary solution.
Hey, it's a jungle out there. Luckily, there's a new Vita Kids syrup, the great tasting raspberry flavored immune booster and multivitamin that helps restore and maintain youngsters' healthy immune systems. Vita Kids syrup also contains Ganoderma lucidum, a special mushroom that further helps boost your immunity. Vita Kids syrup, now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide. A proud Fabufarm product.
Just what we need!
Moms, also try the Vita Kids multivitamin drops and multivitamin drops with iron.
The group of youth known as the Struggle Kids who reside at the Ndilimani camp north of Windhoek have put their farming skills to good use and established gardens for fresh produce to feed themselves. About 80 children of the liberation struggle still remain at a farm owned by SWAPO, as the rest of the 700 that were here 2 years ago underwent training and have since been recruited by the government. The Struggle Kids say the restriction measures hinders their food supply from relatives in other regions, which has led them to start farming maize, spinach, tomatoes and carrots, just to mention a few, to sustain themselves.
If we are waiting for the government to give us job or training, we make our garden where we plant spinach, tomatoes, maize, carrots and other things. At least to help each other by eating, because they say you must eat like vegetables in this time of coronavirus. So we make our garden. One is this one and the other one is that on front, if you see it that side.
Ekanjo and the others also sell their produce to members of the public for an income. There are those that have become innovative and make tables and chairs from discarded tires and wood. No member has been taken in for training this year, as the government has been focused on COVID-19 since it declared a state of emergency in March.
As you can see in our gardens here, we are not lazy, we are trying to do something. So this is a good picture to the government, showing that we are not lazy, we are not demanding only for jobs. So as we get skills, we can able to do everything.
The Struggle Kids now hope to ask the ruling party to acquire the farm and contribute towards food security in the country. The farm was previously rented to a Chinese national who has now moved his business to the adjacent farm.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV, it just gets better.
Win a share of 20,000 Namibian dollars. SMS the word VIBE to 10010 and stand a chance to win 2,000 Namibian dollars with the Ink Like a Vibe show. Watch the show on One Africa TV, channel 284 on DSTV and channel 90 on GoTV every Sunday at 1800 hours.
A small community in the Karas region called Wester Kim near Karasburg are living without electricity on a daily basis, and when nature calls they have to make use of nearby bushes as there are no functional sanitation facilities.
Hey, julle toilets hierso.
Net toilets.
Krag goed. Net krag. Niks geriewe nie. Niks geriewe. Nou waar gebruik julle toilet?
Ons gaan per bosse.
Of jy nou toilet, waar gebruik julle toilet?
Zover loop ik maar nou hier op de oude jaren als
Local community activist Jacobus Basson said that they handed a petition to the local councillor requesting for basic services like electricity and ablution facilities to be made available to the residents. According to him, residents are forced to make use of bushes when nature calls.
The situation is the people stay in shacks for almost 7 years from 2013. And our councillor, our regional councillor in Karasburg East is not doing anything. The people, say from 2013, they go. In 2013, our regional councillor was a local councillor at the time, but until now, later on he became a regional councillor, but until now he's not doing anything. People have to go, if they want to use toilet, they have to go to the bush, and it's not safe nighttime. You don't have electricity and all those things. So now, and we try to arrange for a meeting with our regional councillor. He don't want to have any meeting with us because of COVID-19. We told him even two of us can go and meet him so that we can discuss the matter, so that we can look for a way to help the people. But even he don't want to meet two of us.
With the local and regional authority elections fast approaching, Basson advises the residents to choose a leader that have the interest of the community at heart and can bring about change.
They must not concentrate on parties, like to say, I am SWAPO or I am a LPM. They must look on the faces of the people and try to make a difference. Because there's some people they campaign to be a councillor, but at the end of the day, the person is just someone who will just go and sit there and just to get paid. From them who are planning to be councillors, to sit for councillors these coming elections. From them they were already councillors, but they want to be councillors again, while they did nothing the last 15 years for the community. So my advice for the people is they must concentrate and look on the faces before they vote. They must not look on I'm a SWAPO or I'm a LPM. They must look on the faces of the people, because they know the people who dropped them in these last 10 years or 15 years.
Basson runs a low-income housing initiative and hopes to see development in the southern town in the near future.
One day we went to I think it's the opening of Oshakati Stadium. Then I was a lead singer there. Then this DJ came.
Namibia's telecommunications giant MTC recently availed digital equipment towards the EdTech Innovation Research and Community Development Project run by the University of Science and Technology in collaboration with People's Primary School in Katutura. Some projects from the EdTech Innovation Research and Community Development Project had started with the learners before the coronavirus pandemic. And with the new equipment availed to the project, this will be crucial to continue learning during the pandemic.
This equipment is crucial in our efforts to improve learning experiences for the learners. And as we have said earlier, it's now needed more than ever, because this equipment can also facilitate remote teaching, remote learning. And in the end phase, we are aiming for remote presence, which is cutting-edge technology. We were in the middle of the process of designing this when the pandemic came. And so luckily, we then contacted the learners, and we have been continuing designing for this phase using WhatsApp and voice calls. And it has been really cumbersome, I can tell you. Having been used to seeing the children every week, and now just working through the cell phone has been really complicated. And that shows us the urgency of the need for technical equipment for the whole country. so that everybody can be equipped so that we can actually continue the learning process online.
With the current pandemic, which has disrupted face-to-face classes at schools, MTC came up with the idea to assist with digital equipment in order for the learners to continue with learning.
Today's people will live in a global village. Now, when they speak of a global village, they speak of emails, internet, social medias, but they don't say much about education. So we then took on initiative to apply the same method to make sure that we don't leave the educational sector as well to be part of the global village. Those that are attending meetings nowadays, you hear Zooms and Teams and Skypes and the rest. Unfortunately, kids and students and learners that sit behind the desk, they don't get an opportunity to feel the same experience. We then made an effort to then sit together as part of the MOU between the two institutions, hand over and start off the journey in making sure that we have also enabled a Namibian child to also participate in the educational activities that the rest of the world are also participating in.
Principal at PPS remarked that with the redesign of the library, learners and teachers will utilize their knowledge through the technology provided.
We are utilizing new trends that explore technology to enhance reading experiences, which is important because without reading, a child cannot master any other subject. With the new challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, more assistance of this kind is needed to bring the level of online learning and modern computerized libraries into existence. This only doesn't intrigue the level of reading interest, but raise the awareness and knowledge gained by both teachers and learners that will be utilizing this library.
This project is aimed at establishing an interest in reading and distance learning amongst others, to allow children across the country to jointly learn and create new knowledge.
This is the Football Review. Gareth Bale was brilliant for Real Madrid, worth all of the 100 million euros the club paid for him. If you talk to me about what it means to finish second rather than third or fourth, I think second place is still first among the losers. It might be suggested Chelsea is still counting the cost. After scoring 107 goals on the way to the 2017 Ligue 1 title, Monaco managed just 40 from 28 games when last season was called off. History is written by the winners. That is what is remembered. The three most expensive transfers in Barcelona history are shaping as disasters. Injured more often than not, Ousmane Dembele and on loan Philippe Coutinho have had minimal impact. Struggling Antoine Griezmann has hardly been worth 120 million euros. Right now, they are costly mistakes by Barcelona. And this is the Football Review.
In other leading stories, according to the Bank of Namibia, the global economic activity contracted during the second quarter of 2020 and is expected to contract for 2020 as a whole. Inflation rates in most monitored advanced economies and emerging markets and developing economies remained low in recent months. Therefore, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Namibia has decided to reduce the repo rate by 25 basis points from 4% to 3.75%. The MPC is of the view that at this level, the rate is appropriate to continue supporting domestic economic activity, while at the same time safeguarding the one-on-one link between the Namibia dollar and the South African rand. The decision was taken following a review of global, regional and domestic economic and financial developments. The MPC had to balance the need for further monetary stimulus in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic-induced weakness of the economy against the importance to not undermine sound saving and investment decisions in the economy. The MPC also noted the efforts made to support economic activity and bridging the financing gaps left by the pandemic, and is confident that this will further underpin a recovery of the Namibian economy. And more than 68 teams of young innovators registered to take part in a virtual hackathon aimed at improving public service delivery. The hackathon, a first of its kind locally, was initiated by the United Nations Development Fund in partnership with the Namibia University of Science and Technology, ICTech Hub, a green enterprise solutions. The ICTech Hub is housed at NUST, and it is responsible for talent scouting, mentorship, sponsorship and product development in the ICT sector. The 10-day event called on young innovators, tech bodies, solution designers and service delivery experts to go head-to-head and compete in developing and presenting innovations and ideas that address challenges experienced by the government in service delivery. The winning teams were all led by female innovators, a remarkable achievement in an industry that is male-dominated. The first prize went to Pro Food Challenge app, a team that developed a multi-stakeholder e-commerce platform. Second prize to e-passport system, a team that showcased an e-passport service for the Ministry of Home Affairs. And third prize to traffic ticket system, a team that created a traffic ticket management system for the Ministry of Safety and Security. These solutions will be incubated at a local IT company to provide support to reach sustainable levels of implementation before handing them over to the custodian government officers.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The Ministry of Works and Transport Fixed Asset Management Department says it is troubled by illegal government flat occupants who do not follow the correct procedures and break into government flats to occupy them. The department's deputy director says the majority of cases are that of NDF and the Namibian Police Force. Shetty said that police officers also need accommodation. Helena said, sell the flats to the public. Owen said most NDF and police officers do not own houses, yet are the ones that are demolishing people's shelters. David said that the officers should be arrested for grabbing flats. Franz said they too are human beings and have needs like any other people. Jack said procedures should still be followed. Margareta Swartboy and her family spent a night on the street after being evicted by her biological sister. Among the evicted family is a young girl with special needs. Reasons as to why Lucia Lungs evicted this family during a regional lockdown with a street curfew remains a mystery. Elizabeth said it is said that the spirit of Ubuntu among relatives is no more. Stefan questioned how this could be happening during this time of COVID-19 and in this cold weather. Solomon said the people should be allowed to live at the residence until they find an alternative home. Janet said this is the reason why she prefers strangers over relatives. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day, only on Today and One.
Hello and welcome to Sport Africa.
The BBC's new weekly show will explore the big sporting issues and questions, like why Africans aren't winning medals in the pool.
I just think it's their mindset.
Meeting established and rising stars.
I could be the Nigerian first Grand Slam winner.
And at the heart of it will be you, the fans, with your passion, your opinions, your stories, and even tests of your sporting knowledge. Go beyond the game with BBC Sport Africa.
A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior is sunny and mild to warm but hot in the north. The coast sunny and hot with dust storms at times. And the wind moderate northeasterly to fresh southeasterly. Now a look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.